what if we talked about removing the stigma from homeschooling?
Why?
Because people are too quick to judge, and I'd like to give kids an option.
Okay. What if we talked about animals having imaginations?
Why?
We say only humans imagine. The bonobo says, hold my beer. And calling the other animals more does not make us less.
All right.
Let's go. Hello, Scout Francesca. How be ye?
Good, how are you?
Not bad, thank you.
Good.
You ready to rip?
I am.
All right. Well then, you're wishing to discuss the relative merits of homeschooling.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty complicated topic because there's not really a right or a wrong. It's kind of very opinions based, I guess. To quote a very popular TikTok, it's opinions based. That's pretty niche, so if you know, you know.
Uh-huh.
I was looking up things because I didn't want to just go off of my personal experience with homeschooling or really any online schooling, just some form of schooling from home.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to just go off of my knowledge of it. I basically came across everything that I was saying. Everybody that does it thinks the same thing because if they went into it, they gave it a chance, and if they're still doing it, they preferred it. They liked it better.
Yeah.
I think that there's quite a few pros to it. But what I really want to talk about is how people are really quick to judge any form of homeschooling. They really are. I think that the first thing...
A segment of the population
right,
is for sure,
right.
yeah.
Big thing that they say is the socializing. They like to bring up the socializing aspect. This is what, my second year of doing homeschooling, online schooling, and I've made more friends. Right now, at this point in my life,
Yeah.
I have more friends than I have ever had in my entire life. I have like 2 friend groups.
Yeah.
Like I'm genuinely not tooting my own horn like here. I have more of a social life than I ever have.
Just to be the devil's advocate, though, with that, I mean, it depends, as does most things, it depends on the person, right?
Yes.
Like, there would be some kids who would benefit from a schooling environment because it forces them to
Right.
socialize, like it, or if not, forces maybe sounds too negative. It puts them in a position where there are children available for
Right.
them to socialize with. You're somebody who isn't afraid to go out and find your own thing, and in that case, it's a huge advantage because you're finding exactly who you want to find. Like you see somebody, then you see somebody else, and you're like, oh, okay, we could be friends. So you're not confined to just, which I think a lot of kids end up being just confined to these 15, 20, 25, 30 kids in this classroom that they grew up with. And if you have a class that's full of morons and doofuses, then that's who your friend group becomes.
I think it depends on the kids too. I can't really directly say whether homeschooling is good or bad because it depends on the kid. If a kid works better with one-on-one, maybe they focus better in the comfort of their own home.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is more beneficial to that kid.
And then support
is
a huge thing.
But if a kid isn't very social, is kind of awkward, maybe shy, they would do a bit better in traditional schooling because...
Or wouldn't do better.
Right.
Because I think that sometimes we lose the kids who there are people who don't endlessly need the interaction with other people.
Yeah, maybe they're just shy because they like to be alone.
And they grow up to be thus,
right.
You know. Not everybody requires constant stimulation externally.
No. And I think another big thing that people always ask me when I tell them I do online schooling, they ask me, well, don't you get distracted easily? Which, I mean, I'm a kid. I'm a 14-year-old girl. Yeah, there's distractions everywhere. But it's the same thing in class. You're sat next to your friend and you're not going to talk to them the whole class? Like, I just feel like it's one of those questions where it's like, yes and no.
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten more work done at home than I ever have in school.
Way more,
I
for
learn
sure.
more. It's trickier as well. I'm forced to work a bit harder. And I overall think it's a better option. But that's coming from me.
And again, just to make clear the point, like, we understand that not everybody's in a position to do it. There's people who would love to homeschool their kids because they have concerns with the schooling system, which we had, but they're not in a position to do it. So, and for them, to all of you who are in that position, I really feel bad for you, because we definitely have found great advantage in the homeschooling. Like, there are the things you've said. There's a lot of pros to it. If there weren't, if the cons outweighed the pros, then you would be back in traditional schooling.
Exactly. I think that people really like to push, not everybody, but quite a few people like to push the whole traditional schooling idea, which there's a reason that that's how it was, you know, it was what worked.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, it served a purpose.
Exactly. Kindergarten, to learn your ABCs, and then you go to primary, and then middle school, high school, college, and then you get a job. That's how it was, but that's how it had to be. It doesn't have to be like that anymore, especially with AI. If you really think about it, AI is going to be, I don't want to use the word taking over because we're not in a sci-fi movie, but AI, right, but AI will be playing a big role in bigger jobs. Like, for example, law. Law is all knowledge-based. It's all having all of your notes on what happened, knowing what happened.
Precedent,
Exactly, all of that.
Yeah, and they can parse and disseminate the information way faster than humans.
Doctors. AI is going to play a huge role in maybe not doing the physical surgery itself.
Although there's already some of that happening. They play a large
role in it already.
Yeah. Our problem with that is like, do you want a robot doing your open heart surgery? Probably no.
But my argument is that why wouldn't I trust a robot when I trust a human that I've had not even one conversation with?
Statistically, the robot's less likely to make a mistake. It's going to do exactly what it's programmed to do, whereas the human might have had too many the night before, or fought with her husband or wife or whatever. Like, there's probably some, But I mean, okay, that's a separate thing, I guess.
That's a different topic. I mainly wanted to talk about just the idea that we don't have to have such a traditional way of living anymore, because we just don't.
Because it's disappearing.
Exactly. That's just not how anything is anymore. Nothing's traditional.
Well, we were finding traditional schooling, too, to be very much lacking. Like there was, the discipline wasn't there, what you were learning wasn't there. I mean, in university now, I just read a thing this week at a big school. I forget what university it was in the States, and the professor was like, "This is ridiculous. We have to teach these students coming in how to read and write. A lot of them can't even do that." God. Well, but that's because that's the way it is. Like, kids are coming out of high school and they're not educated.
Yeah. And I think that was a big...
Not all of them, but...
I think that was a big thing with homeschooling. A lot of people thought, well, homeschooling kids are maybe less educated, but colleges more and more are starting to accept more and more homeschooled kids.
For sure.
I think that the one-on-one really speaks to young kids. Mm-hmm. I think it's less overstimulating for them. Mm-hmm. I think especially for me, because I can get distracted, it's way less overstimulating.
There's
the noises
more room for
are less.
Creativity.
There's not people yelling in the background. I don't have the stress of being yelled at if I do something wrong.
More free time.
Exactly.
Because you're not wasting all of the time in school.
More
like,
sleep.
You're there 7 hours, you do 2 hours of work.
More sleep. That might not seem like such a big thing. And a lot of people think...
That's a great point. That's a great point, Irishman.
When I started doing homeschooling, or non-traditional schooling, because I don't want to use homeschooling, because a lot of people do online schooling, but they look at it as homeschooling as well. Right. So whenever I started
we try and do a bit of both.
Both, yeah. So when I started doing this, I felt way more rested. I felt like I could breathe. I hated school.
Yeah.
Like, I hated it. I'm sure a lot of teenage girls out there hate it too.
It's a preparation for the future thing. That's how I look at it. Like, before we went into this, one of the questions was, well, do colleges and universities, do they also stigmatize it? And they don't. No. More and more homeschooled students are the students that they're finding are better equipped to go to university and
Right.
college because they've actually done the work that's necessary to be able
Yeah.
to read and write and do basic considerations.
And this isn't just you and I just talking. Like,
No,
this
no.
is genuine stats showing that colleges and universities
Oh,
are
for sure.
accepting more and more
For sure.
homeschooled, online schooled
They're
kids.
finding they're better students.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously you can't paint everything with the same brush, but that is what they're finding.
Yes.
Well,
All right.
there you go. You just wanted to pump the tires of homeschooling, did you?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we think it's great. Like it's
Yes.
the flexibility that it gives you guys, it's great. I would say the only thing is that it's too bad there isn't more support in place
Yeah.
for parents who want to do that. So I would love if there was more of a support system from wherever that would say, okay, homeschooling, that's sweet. You're taking that on. You're doing this for your kids. Here's what we can do to help you do that. Because we think that it's super beneficial that you as a parent are taking on the schooling of your child.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. That's great. And here's how we can help. That would be fantastic. Because I don't think that just doesn't exist. If you're homeschooling, it's like, well, good luck to you, buddy. Hope your kid doesn't turn out to be a big weirdo.
Yeah. All right. You would like to talk to us about animals and blank.
And blank.
Actually, you know what? To jumpstart this, can I say a little cute, little
Of
short, little
course.
story?
Of course.
So there's this monkey going viral right now because he was being kind of bullied by the other monkeys in the area. It's a zoo, I think. Him
Give
and
him the
the
stuffy.
plushie takes it everywhere. And then the other day, he made a friend in his little enclosure. And so now he has a friend.
Yeah. They were trying everything to reach him and to give him somehow help him, and that was it. It was that
That
stuffy
little 8
man.
plushie.
Yeah,
So
that
cute.
was that
All
was
the
a cool
pictures of
story.
him all snuggled up to him. It's so
Okay,
cute.
perfect. That's a perfect
It
introduction
popped into my
to
head
it.
when I was reading your notes.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing here is animals and their imagination,
Mm-hmm.
right? I believe that they do imagine, that they do have an imagination. That's
Devolved humans.
well, but for the longest time, that's not been the consideration, right? I think imagining is a critical element to being a human. That's what makes us human in large part, is our ability to take disparate things and to form them into a singular thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's any kind of creativity, any kind of physical actions that we take are usually backed by the idea that, okay, if this, then that. Like this sense of imagination. And we've painted all of it, again with the paintbrush, but we've painted all animals with this sort of lesser. They can't do that. They're just bots going through their life and doing what they're programmed to do. And I don't know if that's true. Johns Hopkins University did a research paper showing bonobos, in particular one. The actual experiment doesn't matter. It was just that the upshot of it was that the animals were clearly pretending. They could imagine something was there that wasn't there, that's imagination. There's
Right.
no other explanation for it. And I'm not saying that they're us, animals, but
Right.
this is an ability that we've long held to be only human, this ability to imagine. So it requires considering otherwise, right? If animals can imagine, well, that opens up a whole other way of thinking about them.
It really does. And I really think that's just so humanly of us to have to do an experiment to prove that another living, breathing, eating, water drinking, opposable thumb using animal can't imagine something.
Yeah.
Like, we really have to perform an experiment for that? Which, fair enough. You know what? Okay, experiments are cool. Awesome. Great. Now we have the hard proof. But seriously?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Come on.
That's in large part what we've done, because that's our traditions. Our traditions
Yeah.
that humans are apart from animals. For various reasons, we've felt that was necessary to separate ourselves from the rest of the animals. And so that was the natural order. And you don't question what is obvious.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done. We've created this cosmic obviousness that we're more than the other animals. And so everything we've done is to try and reinforce that.
Yeah.
And this this kind of a thing, though, breaks that down entirely. So if you actually think, okay, if you actually think an animal has an imagination, well, now you have to rethink the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's that's how we live outside the moment, is in our imagination. We imagine the future, we imagine the past, and that's life beyond a rock.
Like you see videos of infant monkeys playing around on the ground and with nothing, with seemingly the air.
Yeah, they're just playing.
Staring at the air and batting their arms, And to us, looking at that, what is it doing? But that's how we look as little kids.
Oh, no question.
Running around the streets, acting like you're in a war, acting like you're a princess.
Yep.
That's exactly what that is.
Yeah, it's true.
There is no difference.
It's to your point you made a minute ago, like, why did we need that to be proven?
Right.
Is it not obvious that they suffer, that they grieve, that they anticipate things? Like, we know, everybody has ever had a dog or seen a dog, knows that a dog's anticipating behavior. People they can write it off as this or that, but if you're around an animal for long enough like that, you realize, no, there's something else going on there. It's the animal is making connections, and now this is just a scientific study that's like forcing the issue. Okay, you know what, we got to stop pretending. Crows, they're smart, they can make connections, they can use tools. These things require imagination.
Don't they throw funerals for each other?
Some do. Elephants do, I think.
Right. And crows.
Yeah Crows do too? Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You cannot get more, I'm trying to look for the word, but emotional than that.
Octopuses,
humans,
man.
We literally put humans in coffins and mourn the deaths. But when an animal does it, it's different. No, that's not a funeral.
Yeah,
no, that's different.
That's the thing.
That's because they're animals.
They're not doing what,
right.
Well, no, they are, man.
No, that monkey isn't playing. Well, why? Why aren't they playing? Because they're animals? It kind of like when somebody calls somebody an animal as an insult. Like, I bet maybe that's how monkeys feel. Maybe they don't want to be. Maybe they don't want to be.
No, I'm sure a big insult is being called a human in a monkey world.
Yeah.
Oh, check out the human.
He's being such a human.
Whenever they do, like if one monkey tries to take all the food and hoard it, they're like, oh, check out the human, man.
Yeah.
He needs it all. He's got to have all the food.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to give anybody else any food. And we can't know anybody else's consciousness, right? A human or animal. Like, I can't know your consciousness. There's some kind of a leap of faith to trying to understand behaviors of anybody else, let alone other animals. So we use language, our shared language, and our shared biology as humans allows us to convey an understanding of each other, right?
Yeah.
And so we look at the animal and, well, we don't have a linguistic bridge. We can't speak directly to the animal, and our biology can vary from, huge to monkeys, which isn't much. That allows us to step away from any kind of, we hide behind the burden of proof, I think, a lot of times. Like, okay, we need proof that they can do this, because without proof, well, no, it's better if I assume that they can't, because they're tasty.
Right.
I'm just saying, when you're mass farming animals for food, it makes it a lot easier to do it if you pretend that they don't care that you just killed their uncle or their kid or
their cousin.
Yeah, like that. But it's not just about food. It's about just a treatment in general and just life and even how we treat other people.
We have an expectation.
If you
of how to be treated.
Yes, we do. We certainly do.
Yeah, exactly.
We certainly do. But we don't afford the other animals the same courtesy a lot of the time. And we're at the top of the food chain. That's the way it goes. I'm all like, I'm not under any illusions or delusions about all of this.
No.
But I just think that animals are capable of a far richer interior life than maybe what we give them credit for.
I agree. Yeah. And I think that the circle of life proves that.
How? In what
because
way?
When you think about it, they're birthed.
Yeah.
They're taught, this is what you eat, this is what you kill. We go to school. We're taught.
Well, they're mostly homeschooled.
Exactly.
I'm here all week.
They're taught what to eat, what to drink.
Yeah.
And then, oh, look, they grow up. Hey, they're still eating. They're still drinking the same thing. But now they have children. and then that children comes along, and then that adult lion teaches that baby lion what to eat and what to drink, and then it grows up, and it just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah. But is that proof of imagination? People would argue that's just proof of a robotic continuum.
It just proves that we're not that different from animals.
I don't think we are at all. I think
just because they don't learn the ABCs.
Yeah.
There it is again, though. I don't know if they do. They might speak their own language, and maybe they're learning their own version of ABCs.
That was the conversation we were having the other day.
Yeah.
All right, then.
All right.
Believe we've got that started.
Yes.
I think it's a good conversation to talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I think it's a good conversation. So that being said, Irish, what would your school look like?
I know that my school would focus a lot on the kids' mental health. I would have lots, I mean, not an absurd amount, but like 3 or 4, what is it called? Like the...
Guidance counselors?
Guidance counselors.
Yeah.
I should know what they're called.
Mental health professionals?
Yeah, I feel like that there should be quite a few guidance counselors, because I think that a big part of being able to go to school and having the motivation to go to school is to have the mentality for it, to be mentally capable of being able to go to school. Because the bottom line is you can't force kids to be kind to each other. You just can't.
No.
I think that as long as there's help for that, it can make a safer and kinder place.
All right.
So instead of focusing on funding for 6 English teachers every year, maybe focus on keeping your 1 English teacher and funding your multiple guidance counselors.
Yeah. So you'd like to see more people available for kids when they have issues.
Right.
Fair enough. What else?
Languages would be a big part. There would be like 4 you could choose from.
Yeah,
English,
right.
Spanish,
Yeah.
German, and Chinese, say. Mandarin, thank you.
Yeah,
Languages,
for sure.
big thing.
Good one.
Music, everybody can pick an instrument. Pick your instrument as long as it's not like a niche instrument.
All the things we focus on.
Yeah, exactly.
Music,
Yeah.
language,
And
mental health.
technology class. I think that
Huge.
that's a really big part. I don't think that technology should be a big part of the schooling in general, but I think in this specific class, some kids are really just talented with computers. They're just computer
Literacy is huge.
Yeah.
And
I
not
think,
just knowing how to turn it on either, knowing how to use all of the available
Yeah.
tools on a computer. For me, my school would have definitely more of an emphasis on the things that a kid shows interest in, like trying to
Yes.
find out from an early age what a kid's really interested in and trying to help them in that direction, because it's so easy now with all the information online, again, because we homeschool. There's anything you want to learn can be learned. It's not so important that you have an expert come, say, for coding and show the kid how to code, but there's all kinds of things available online for coding, so the kid could investigate coding.
Exactly.
The kid who has that lean. Another kid won't have that. You have kids who aren't good at math, don't like math. Well, why are you forcing them to learn things they're never going to learn, that they're never going to need either?
Yeah.
Keep them on the path of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, ratios, basic things. And that's it. Make sure
Yes.
that they know those really well, and don't make them do things they don't want to do.
No.
I think that's a big thing, is trying to find a way to focus the education on what the kid is actually interested in. Lots of countries do that. They find they find kids who have a propensity for something, and then they encourage them, and they take them and they pluck them out, and they specifically train them in those things.
I think, and one more thing that I'd really like to have in my school would be workshop. Because I feel like, especially me growing up, I still have such a fascination with building things just out of wood and using tools.
Because we did. We had the
kids
tools.
Kids like me would benefit so much from a class like that. And having something to do with your hands.
Used to have shop class back in the day. That's how I got to love it, was in class.
Yeah,
building things with tools and equipment. It was amazing. Yep. Great class. A really good point. The only other thing I would add is there would be way more physicality. And I don't mean gym class. I mean actually trying again to find out what kids like to do and making sure that that's happening for them.
I would make sure that my school had enough funding for
Even
most
if it's just
sports.
going on walks, Irish.
Yeah.
Like going on walks
Class
and
walks.
using that to incorporate some
Right.
kind of an understanding. Like maybe every day you go for an hour walk. And maybe it's only 1 kilometer or 2 miles or whatever. And
Yeah.
then you can create a purpose for the
Even
walk
just
when
around
you
the
come
track.
back. Yeah, fine.
But yeah, that's what I would have in my school because I don't know. I just really want to make sure that kids have all the things that they need to have just an area where they can go to learn and really learn, not just show up for 7 hours a day and then leave.
Episode the 68th.
Yep.
Very nice. I quite enjoyed that.
Me too.
Learned some things myself.
Good.
Always happy to do so. I suppose I'll have to conclude personally by saying I love you very much.
I love you too. Mm-hmm. Next time.